channel. My name is Maylene Call from Miss Call's Campers. I'm going to keep this super short and sweet because I know you guys are dying to see my classroom. For those of you that are new, I am a first-year teacher in Middle Tennessee, and this is my very first classroom. I went ahead and took pictures of things that I wanted to show you guys, and it was actually nicer that way because I could go through and kind of protect the names of my students for privacy reasons. So I am going to show you inside my very first classroom. I have put so much love into this classroom. My pup, of course. I have put so much love into this classroom, and I will link my classroom setup vlogs down below if you haven't seen them yet, and my classroom hauls and all that fun stuff. But my kids have lived in this classroom. We have loved in this classroom. It is everything I ever wanted it to be. But I am a first-year teacher, so things are constantly changing, and I'm constantly adjusting things. This is where our classroom is now. It's the state of our classroom in December, and I hope you guys enjoy. If you have any questions, just leave them down below. So the first thing you're going to see is this sign that says "Welcome, sweet friends," and it's just a wooden sign from Michael's that I did white vinyl on with my Cricut, and then I have this little flower arrangement that I created, a sign that says hello, and then there is a gold mailbox type thing that I got from Target, and I just wanted the outside to be super, super inviting. So these choice letters are actually inspired by Bridget at the Lettered Classroom. Choice is a really, really big theme in our classroom as well, and it reminds me always to give students choice. We reference this all the time, and yes, the E did fall. I will get a new one from Hobby Lobby eventually, but you know, it just hasn't happened yet. But we do reference it every single day. I also have a Happy Camper sign from Michael's, a C from, I don't know where, maybe TJ Maxx, and then a letterboard that has sight words. They are by our doors so we can say them as we leave, and I change them every week. Next up are these magnetic curtain rods, actually. They're from Walmart. I think they're about, I don't know, maybe $7, but there's magnetic strips in between your ceiling tiles if you have ceilings that are like mine, and I use these to hang anchor charts. It's really, really cool. I saw it on Instagram. I don't know who came up with it though. Anyways, we have our wish and our farewell, and I got this idea from 4th grade unicorns on Instagram, and basically they are the songs that we sing every single morning and every single afternoon. The first one on the left I did not come up with. I will link it for you, and then on the right, that's the rap that I came up with in one of my classroom setup videos. And here are our student cubbies. I know, totally glamorous. I have 21 kids right now, actually, but I think like 25 cubbies, so I use the rest for random storage. They all have their numbers on it, and a couple of kiddos couldn't make it to our Christmas party, so that's why there's some things in some of their cubbies. And on top, I have these wooden file boxes that I got from Target. In the white one, I actually keep just papers, worksheets, things that I'm going to use throughout the week, or extra, I don't know, just in case there's extra time. And then the one on the right, I kind of fancied this up with some vinyl and my Cricut, and I just love this quote so much from Little Seeds Grow Mighty Trees. And this is kind of like my student mailboxes. I don't know, this is where I just file away any work that they've completed throughout the week, and I find that sometimes I do actually have to go back and grab it, so I'm glad I don't send homework every single day, because there's been plenty of times where I have to go back and grab something that the students did. So we send home all of their work throughout the week on Friday. So this basket actually has a UV pen and a UV light that I use for magic numbers, but this is kind of next to where I make my anchor charts and where I have my portable whiteboard, so there's just supplies I have for those things here. So this wall is definitely not the prettiest, but I do love the little tree. I think it adds a lot to our room, actually. This is where my computers are. I have 3 computers, my students stand. If they're doing some kind of test, they do pull stools up, but I let them decide if they need a stool or if they do not need a stool. Their computer cards are actually stored right on that cabinet in a pocket chart that I got off of Amazon. It's actually a cell phone holder, but it works really, really well for their little password badge things that they have. And then there's an anchor chart that we made on the very first day of school that we reference every single day. I saw this on Miss Fifth's Instagram, and it saved my life. So I don't have a ton of hooks. My students hang their backpacks on hooks, but as far as their jackets go, especially since it's wintertime, there's just not enough room. So I bought this little basket for them to put their jackets in, and then I have a little organizer for their headphones that was actually sent to me, so thank you so, so much. I don't really have a great place to store anchor chart paper, so I keep it up here and it's been working just fine. I have a globe, an air freshener, a lamp from Target, and a pencil sharpener that I absolutely love because it actually has like an automatic stop. There's a blue light that comes up and it stops sharpening pencils, and I keep it up there because I'm the only one who uses it really. I just sharpen pencils on Friday. And before you say it, yes, I did check with all of my parents, and it is okay to have an air freshener in my room. Here I just keep, some personal items and then some art supplies, some craft supplies, some school supplies. Here is what I think is my charming little sink area with my cute little mat that I got from Walmart down there. And I have my soap out here and not in the bathroom, so I can kind of monitor students, but they still play anyway. It's fine. I actually keep a little cup for students to put dull pencils in since I have my pencil sharpener over there, so they just put dull pencils over there. And I do have a sign that I've yet to write anything on because I don't have a chalk pen and I need to get one so bad. I also really do not like the metal paper towel dispenser that we have, so I keep them in a little crate that I got from Walmart. And then we've got Band-Aids and tissues. Again, totally not pretty, but I write our sight words on these cabinets back here with an Expo marker, and you can tell where I've kind of like erased. I put our current ones in green for them. But the inside makes me happy, and my goal over Christmas break is to make labels for all of these. I have finger lights, I have mini erasers, I have classroom coupons, I have dice, copper clips, money, I have batteries, bubbles, this is empty, and then magnetic strips, UV beads that we used at the beginning of the year. This is empty, this is empty, this is empty, paper clips, pairing up brand bracelets, empty, empty, and then this is what I use for our sight words on the letterboard. These are all my letters. Then I have, I need more Mr. Sketch markers. It's kind of sad. Then I have colored pencils and, oh my gosh, doesn't that make you happy? And then those are the skinny Crayola markers. Then Expo markers, Mr. Sketch crayons, Expo markers that are colored, hot glue gun that I actually just broke, pink erasers, tape refills, and then a big container full of markers, and then my trusty staple gun. I've got a notepad collection over there and some coupons again. Then I have our highlighters, pencils, glue sticks, black Expos, bags, crayons, and then some Clorox wipes for my cabinets, and then my Expo marker that I use for the sight words. Below, honestly not as glamorous. It's just stuff that, I have for centers to swap out with. Some things that I haven't put together yet. There's, index cards, random school supplies, spray paint. Oh, I didn't know that was in there. Okay. And then I have some coin banks that I made, extra base 10 blocks. I don't know, just random stuff. This is a cabinet that basically stores curriculum, and then there's this, and I know it just is not the most pretty thing in the world, but it does have my swing line cutter that I use to cut paper, which I actually use, I think, every other day, and then my personal laminators. Yeah, not the most organized space, but, no one's got it all together. Just keeping it real. So in the top drawer of my filing cabinet, I keep snacks, which we're running low on, and then in this drawer, construction paper, cardstock, and Astro Brights. I love this drawer. It makes me so happy every time I open it. Then we've got our math curriculum in here. And then in the very, very bottom drawer, we've got our reading curriculum. It's just easy to store here. The paper that my students used is stored in this little Walmart bookshelf and Sterilite bins that I haven't labeled, and yes, it's killing me. I do have a little lost and found bin, which has been a saving grace in the classroom, and then this set of rainbow drawers from Michael's that I use to hold our markers that my kids are allowed to just go and get whenever they need. I really like this drawer system for holding markers. Some of the colors I did double up on, right there and right here, but it's working out really nicely. Our water bottles are actually stored in shoe holders that I got from Amazon, and I know some teachers like for kids to have their water bottles on their desk, but I just have a designated area where my students are allowed to get water because I just don't want things to get ruined if they spill, which it does happen, so they're here. Now let's get to the heart of the classroom. This is my favorite place, and it's where we spend most of our time. This is where we do all of our whole group instruction, right here on our rug. This rug is actually from Lakeshore Learning. It is my favorite thing in the entire world, and I feel like it just really transforms, the energy in the whole room. All of my students have learning leaves that we sit on, and I just think it makes the room as a whole. So I'll talk to you about the storage I have for my whole group on the left. So the shelf and the bins are from Target, even though I did get the shelf from Facebook Marketplace. It was in great condition anyway, but I just love the look of this shelf, and I kind of want to get a couple more for my room. On top, I just have expo markers and erasers. I have pencils. I have dice and post-it notes, and then I have base 10 box in this bin. I've got counters that I need to actually organize. Yeah, I'll get to it eventually. Then I have whiteboards. And that's turned around. And then in the last one, I just keep clipboards, and these are always really close. I have another cube shelf, and this one I actually got at Goodwill, and it has like a water stain on top, so that's why there's a ton of stuff on top of it. But yeah, this just makes me really, really happy to look at. Here are some of the books I keep up top. Some of them are STEM bin related. Oh, there's our book tracker. My kids love it. Anyway, underneath is our STEM bins. You can kind of see what's inside. And then at the bottom, I keep basically just books I have that I need to read at a certain point in the year, or read alouds, or some chapter books we're going to be reading. And my kids know they're not really supposed to access these unless they ask for my permission. So the way our computers are connected, they have to be in a certain spot. This is where most teachers have their teacher desk. As you know, I do not have a teacher desk. Instead, my computer is just on this nightstand I got on clearance at Target. And it's super nice, and it actually matches the shelf you saw where I keep my whole group supplies. Anyway, I love it, and it's working out great for me. And on top, you can kind of see on the top left, I have this really pretty little sand timer that I got from Target, and it just makes me happy. I don't ever time the kids with it. It's just something. Then I have Unifix cubes and foam shapes because they're hard to store. So this is where I do most of my teaching from. You can see again I have that matching end table from Target. This is where I make my anchor charts. It's where my Elmo is. The ottoman itself is actually from Target. I love it. I know some teachers have a rocking chair. I have this with pillows in it. And then these are little containers I got from Michael's that hold math manipulatives. They actually have mini erasers from, all sorts of places. I finally found mini erasers. Underneath, I also have stuff for writing our sight words with. I have fidget tools, tissues, some Judy clocks, some Clorox wipes, because you never know. And then in this drawer, I keep, some random stuff in the back, but just our classroom coupons, and I'm going to do a whole video on that. And this is an organizer from Target. I have, just some markers that I use, a glue stick, a UV pen, scissors. I've got pointers the kids really like to use, a ruler for anchor charts. I've got stickers, computer rotations on that piece of paper, my teacher iPad, the book we're reading. I also have my microphone that I love and I use every single day, and then some poems that we love to read. I love it. Okay, and then we have a list. This is part of something that I bought for my classroom. It's called Rhyme Magic, and I will probably do a whole video on it, but it's this really, really awesome program to help readers. And then a post-it note thing, some fluency flashcards, and that's about it. Anyways, I put this on there with my Cricut, the vinyl. I also keep this little pot that I got from Target, and it has expo, like whiteboard stuff, bubbles, and air freshener, because when they come in from recess, they just stink. Now I'm going to talk about our little whiteboard area. I do have flowers that go across the top because I think it adds a little something something. Then my number line and number posters are from Holly Griffith's TPT store. I love them so much. I have a big number line at the top because I want my kids to see 1 through 125. I have a little fairy door that just adds a little, again, something something. Our schedule is over here. These labels are in my TPT, and I clip the extras down here. And then I have this book up here because we're going to start reading it as soon as we get back from Christmas break, and each spread features a different woman, and I think we're probably going to try to do about 2 a week, but I'm really excited to share this with my kids. Sometimes I like to display anchor charts on my whiteboard, so I just use, again, this magnetic curtain rod. Then, hanging on this little metal thing is a like a planter from Target Dollar Spot with different remotes and projector smart pens that I have. And then I have our endings for Rhyme Magic. I have a little timer that I use and my turn and talk. I love this. And then Expo Eraser and markers. And then here's a peek of my calendar. It's going so fast. And this is where I keep the extras. Yeah, right there. Underneath my board, I do have a number line that my students can actually come up and, touch. So I have 2 number lines in my classroom, one at the top, one at the bottom. And then I have our vocabulary words. We add new words every single week. Some of the words I'm really, really proud of them for, but they come from our read alouds and they recognize them everywhere. So teaching vocabulary has been really, really fun. And I always try to use real pictures when I teach them their vocabulary as well, whenever I can. So here is our other kind of like whiteboard area. This is more like it's like a classroom command center pretty much. But if you watched my How to Design Your Classroom in PowerPoint videos, you will see that this looks very, very close to what I originally had in mind. And I think that's so, so cool to, see my dreams come to life like that. So I'll start with the outside. I use sticky clips to hold fairy lights that I bought from Amazon. They go all the way around the board. I love it. I think it adds so much. I think they shine brighter than Christmas lights. Here's a peek with the lights off. Oh, I love it so much. And because I know some of you are going to ask, my alphabet posters are from Holly Griffith as well. I got these from the same store that I got the number line and the number posters from. So this bulletin board just has, an anchor chart and some of our learning that went along with it that's posted. The back is a bed sheet from Walmart, and then I made the border around it. Then I have our little Student of the Week section, and I pick a different student every week to have lunch with me on Tuesday based on, the week before. Hard work pays off is on there with vinyl for my Cricut. I got that idea from teaching on less. And then underneath it, I just have coupons, whatever coupons I have at the time so they can see them. A math strategies poster that we reference all the time. So this is the main part of the board. On the left, I have our literacy center groups, not the guided reading groups, but our center groups, and our math groups are on the right, and they're kind of organized by behavior, but I always have to reference who is in what group, especially because I, use their groups for different things throughout the day. At the top, it says smart cookies and then hard work pays off. That's where I kind of keep track of how they do during center time. So in the morning, if they do well, they'll get a smart cookie, and if they break my heart in the afternoon, that's what happens. I also have my little voice level lights that I use all of the time, and then I have my standards that I post and update every single week. These are just hanging with command hooks that I spray painted rose gold, and I keep all of my standards. I don't ever take them out. They're always in there. And I have this little post-it note that my sister left me when I was sitting at my classroom, and it's still there. Anyways, on the other side of the board, I have anchor charts that we reference, all the time for literacy or social studies, and I just have 2 classroom jobs. So those picture frames are where I display them. I just take the student picture and I put it under the helper if they're my helper for the day, or I put it under the director if they are my director for the day. And here's my other little bulletin board. The whole thing says, we all have a story, let's write ours. And I got this idea from the superhero teacher. I'm sure you know who she is on Instagram. She's fantastic. She does classroom makeovers. I think this one came from the Arizona makeover for 4th graders maybe, but I tweaked it for 1st grade and made it a little time capsule. So we respond throughout the year and we put little slips inside of these envelopes to open at the end of the year. Here is my small group table. The stools are from IKEA. People told me that the white stools are not as sturdy as the black stools, and I'm really starting to believe them because I've had a couple of them break, and it's not because my kids are rough with them. Like, they are just not the best quality, but they're $5. I think I want to get wooden stools eventually, maybe. And I have the $20 IKEA chair that I use back here with a pillow. I get so many questions about, where I store my things since I don't have a teacher desk, and it really just fits on one shelf. So here's my teacher toolbox. I do have a video on how I made this if you're interested. And then to the left, I just have hand sanitizer from Grove. I love Grove. Link below. Myers, hand lotion, and a bell. Ding, ding, ding. That wasn't good timing. Anyways, a student gave me this for Christmas this year, and some flowers, of course. I also use this area to shove papers in because, Yeah. Then this little wooden tray, it has a library stamp, a stapler, tape dispenser, a thermometer, and a hole punch. And I like this. It keeps me pretty organized, easy to grab things. Then a note, a magnetic letter boards. This is what I give to my kids during small groups so they have everything that they need, all there for them. Then more small group things. They write on these dry erase sleeves and the whiteboard I use. Then a math binder, Skittles for bribery, and then just some files. And then this is mostly where I store my small group stuff. So on top I have pens and eraser apparently. These are pencils that I love, love, love because the lead is so hard to break and my kids love using them too. Some expo markers. I also have scissors, a hole puncher, and oh, these scissors, amazing. Okay, some stickers. I have apparently library labels, don't know why. Okay, little whiteboards that my kids can use and lights for kids to hear, the sounds when we sound out words. And then these little chips for highlighting sounds in books. I actually used this caddy during student teaching. It was like my little student teaching center and I loved it. These are where I store sight words and I have a stamp. I don't know if you missed it or not. It was kind of quick, but so I'll show you what's inside. Oh, first the labels. Gotta show you the labels. The bottom 5 drawers are for math. Well, they're supposed to be. And then the top 5 drawers are for literacy, and I just keep their notebook that they write in for guided writing, and then their books that we're reading that week. Here's where I keep my little mini fridge, and yeah, not really anything fun, but I'm really thankful that my sister brought this to me because it really has changed my world because I keep, pretty much I just keep water in there. Yep, that's it. And the box on top she got me too. I just keep some snacks and things like that. And let's talk about centers, shall we? So here's our word work center. The lamp is from Target. I have the book, The Word Collector, we read at the very beginning of the year. Then I just have some supplies that they might need. I do keep a ton of word work activities on rotation. They are all in my Teachers Pay Teachers store. I have literally a ton. You will keep them busy all year long. And I always kind of model it for them up there as well. I do keep extra word work, kind of like little stations in these desks that are backwards, and it is okay. It is totally okay. I have magnetic letters. I have blocks with letters that they can build with. And then I have a stamp and write kind of center thing. But they basically are just practicing with like their sight words in this center. On the other side, I do keep our math center bins. I figured I would just show you now since I talked about, the desks and them being backwards. Because apparently when I was sitting at my classroom, it was a really big deal that my desks were backwards. I know that they're backwards because I don't want my students to use them. So these are where our math centers are stored currently. Anyways, underneath the word work table, I keep keyboards for them to practice typing their sight words and then trays that they can use for whichever of the centers that they decide to pull out for that station. I hope this makes sense. Last but not least, in our word work center, we have this little whiteboard easel where they will also practice their sight words, and I keep a list there. I don't know why actually, because they can see the cabinets. Anyways, above the word work center is our writing portfolios. It makes a really, really cute display in our classroom. Again, I did make the cover, but they're just hanging in dry erase sleeves. And I actually got this idea from Just a Primary Girl. So I will be sending home all their writing for the year, like that we do in class, at the very end of the year. And here's a close-up of the sticky clips holding it on. The next center is writing, and above the writing center I do have our word wall. I, of course covered the names, but I really like that the word wall is above the writing center because I'm really encouraging them to reference the word wall as much as possible. But, I debated for a long time where to put it, and this was a really, really smart choice. Here's a blank sign because, again, no pen marker. These are sheets actually from Just a Primary Girl. It's like story writing. And then, the ones that they can actually use are here. I have a driftwood holder full of crayons. That's from Target. I love it. And then some colored pencils. And mixed in there are regular pencils. Yeah, right there. Also, a part of our writing center are these fix-it sentences. Just a Primary Girl makes these as well, and they have sight words in them. And basically, they build sentences, and then they go ahead and write them for me on this little slip of paper. And this is actually just sitting on a little IKEA, I think, little unit that I actually got from Goodwill, and it's kind of wobbly, but, it does the trick. Technically, it's actually holding indoor recess things, but, gotta be multi-purpose, so part of my writing center is over here. because I just feel like the fix-it sentences need more space. So some of my kids want to build them actually on the floor and then write on this little table that I got. It's not from IKEA. It's actually from Walmart, but it's only like $10, and I think it's really pretty. And of course they have the leaf rugs to sit on if they'd like. But yeah, that's my writing center. So here is what's actually in our indoor recess bins. We've got some fun books. We've got some blocks that were donated to us. And then this drawer, we gotta fix that. And then is our listening center. They do it on the rug. They either listen to me read a book on the screen or they have their library books. And finally, we have our library. And I love our library, and I made a huge deal out of our library, even on the very first day of school. And so many of these books were actually donated to us from the classroom wish list I have. So it is so incredible that that's even possible. I wouldn't have half of these books without you guys. So thank you so much. My students really do, as you can tell, they really take care of our library. Yeah, so the rug is from Rugs USA, I do believe. You can get some really cheap rugs from there. And let's talk about our pillows for just a sec, because my kids are like just obsessed with keeping these pillows like in some kind of pattern or order or like organized. I don't know, it's so funny to me. I figured 6-year-olds would just throw it around, but no, they make it look neat every single day. Here is our collection of reading buddies. A lot of them are from my mother-in-law, and I just have them in this little IKEA cart that I want to label. So above the first bookshelf are 2 anchor charts that we actually reference all of the time, because whenever we read a new book together, we always talk about, the characters and the character traits. So this is something we keep coming back to over and over and over again. So it's just kind of like in our library because we can see it from our rug. I also have this book, the other side up top, a plant, a lamp that is normally on, but not for right now. And then I have chapter books because some of my kids can't actually read chapter books. I did make this little label that's on there that says readers are leaders. And then I have bins from book lots, big lots. And here's some of our categories. You can see on the right some books are not in a bin because they are wordless picture books. And I will show you what they look like. That's what I'm doing right now. And I always write in my books who donated them to us because I am just so grateful, and it's really special. And I want my kids to know when they open the book that someone was thinking of them. So yeah, these books have no words in them. So they're really great for my ESL kids, there's a couple. And then for my kids who are they have really low reading levels, and they love those. And here's the rest of the library shelves that we have. Up at the top, I do have some, they're like leveled readers, but they're for science. They came in our science kit, so I just threw them in our library. Some of my kids actually like reading them. And then I have, of course, basically a whole shelf dedicated to Mo Willems. Thanks to you guys. These labels also are in... If you go to my Instagram at Miss Calls Campers, there's a link in my bio to a sharing folder. It's like a super secret sharing folder where I share these labels with you because they are not in my Teachers Pay Teachers store. So if you want them, you have to go through my Instagram. But yeah, so I have all these books, and my kids actually do a really great job about making sure they're faced the right way and they're in the right order. Like, they know it, I think, better than I do at this point. They take such good care of it. So up top, I normally have books that we're reading in class or that we've read. So here's a couple. This wooden piece is from Target, and I just personalized it with, some vinyl with my Cricut. And this was sent to us, and they loved it, and they love to reread it. Thank you so much. And a plant that is broken in the back from Target. Yeah, I dropped it. And above those shelves are pictures that my students brought in of their family, and a lot of them brought in baby pictures, and I think it is so stinking sweet. And sometimes they just want to come over here and just look at each other's pictures, and that just makes me so happy. So I'm really glad I included that in my classroom. And then here's the back of the bookshelf, and some more books we've read. And here is my flexible seating. I get asked about this all the time, and I'm so sorry it took me this long to get a video up to show you like what exactly it really looks like and how it works. This isn't a full-on video about flexible seating. I can talk more about it if you would like me to, but I just kind of want to explain to you what I have in my room. So at the very front is a table that I got from Goodwill. It was like, I think like $10, and it's pretty sturdy. Sometimes I actually we'll use it kind of like as a stage. I'll just stand up there and we'll sing songs and do all sorts of things. Like, it's really, really sturdy. And then I have 2 little brown tables on each side. Again, those are from Walmart. They're $10. And I just have kids who just want to sit by themselves sometime, and they really, really like going there. And it's not the same kids. They switch it up, so I'm glad that I have those areas where kids can just go and be by themselves, because even, 6 and 7-year-olds need their alone time sometimes. In the middle, I have a table that's just a normal school table, and if you saw my classroom setup videos, I used to have a lot more of those, and then I had to completely flip what I had, planned, because they actually needed the tables for a new kindergarten room. So, this is what I ended up with, and I'm so, so glad the changes ended up happening, because I love this so much better. Anyway, we have the crate seats that I made over there in the middle, and then on the left are the desks that I showed you that have our word work, centers in there, and then on the right they have our math centers. So I'll give you close-ups. Oh, and in the very back is a standing table. I also got that from Goodwill, and it actually came with the chairs that are in our writing center, like the wooden chairs. Okay, now let's get close. So here's the table that's right up front. It's that coffee table that I said I like to stand on. And yeah, it's really sturdy. I don't care that it's dingy. I thought I would care, but I really don't. It doesn't bother me at all. And then I have patio cushions for them to sit on. And this is a really, really popular place for my kids. This is our middle table. It's kind of like a normal height, but it's got crate seats on there, so they're like kind of cushiony. And y'all, I'm going to be real with you. 3 of these are broken because I have the same couple kids who want to sit on them with their knees. And I'm like, if you keep doing that, they're going to break. And what happens? They break. So I'm fixing them over Christmas break, and I'm going to come back. And if I see a single kid on their knees, they are just not going to be allowed to sit there. They can just get a regular old chair. But a lot of my kids like sitting here too. Then I have more like traditional seating for first grade, at least in our school. We have desks. I don't know if all first graders have desks. I feel like most first graders have desks. Anyway, in normal chairs, I do have these wobble cushions that were sent to us. Again, thank you so much. I have kids who really, really like sitting on these, and some of them will actually take them around the room with them, which I am totally okay with. I want them to use flexible seating in that way. My kids do get creative with our furniture sometimes, and I just love it. I think that's part of it. And if I have kids who just want to sit in the chair without the cushion, all they do is they just take it out, and it's not a big deal. I have one student who always sits in a desk. Just one. And so I'm really glad I did decide to keep the desks, because I expected to have, a student like him who just wants that, desk the whole time. This is my standing table, and again, it is not in the best condition, and it does not have to be. Actually, sometimes 6 kids are here, sometimes only 4 kids are here. It depends on what we're doing, but this is amazing. I had so many people tell me that a standing table was a bad idea because first graders are not going to want to stand all day, but that is not how we use flexible seating in my classroom. They move whenever they need to move. So I have kids who are really, really good. If they need to, get their legs moving, they will go to the standing table because they can sway their bodies and, move their feet. And that's what this is for. It has been amazing to have in my class because I have those kids who are just, a little bit, they have a lot more energy than the other kids in the class, and they can just work here and it works out. They're not bothering anyone. So I love this standing table. And the big question, if I don't use desks, where do they keep their stuff? In these bins. These are actually ice cube bins that I bought from Walmart, and they work really, really well for holding all of their materials. So they're labeled by numbers, and y'all, my kids are so funny because they always put their numbers in order, and I never told them to put them in order. I honestly thought the first time we took the bins out, which we really don't take them out anymore. They just get one thing out of the bin at a time now, but they always put them back in order, and I never told them to. They just did it. I thought that was so funny. So all of their bins are numbered, and then all of the supplies in the bins are numbered too. Here's a close-up of me showing you. I did make all of these labels, but yeah, I'm covering the name because, privacy. But they have a spiral notebook, 2 composition notebooks that we use, and then this is a book for reading, and then their pencil pouch, which has, an eraser that's labeled with their number. And it has pencils and scissors in it, And then you've already seen on each table are these wooden caddies that I think are so beautiful. I got them from Michael's and they weren't a bad price and they are super sturdy. So we have pencils, post-it notes for math, we have glue sticks, and then these crayon boxes were 2 for $1 at Dollar Tree. They're not actually crayon boxes, but I love them so much more than the snack containers that a lot of teachers have been using. So those are our caddies. And this is the area where students actually turn in work. So the basket is where they turn in any notebooks or folders, and I have them turn in their center folder to me on Friday so I can take pictures and add it to their Class Dojo portfolios for them. And then in the middle is this tray you might recognize from my classroom haul video, and basically any like paperwork they turn in this bin, and it's been working out great, and it's right near where I, have my little desk area, I guess, so I can just grab it and grade it if I need to, grading, first grade, whatever. And then these are pens that we use for writing. I really like to use pens instead of pencils because I like to see the mistakes my kids are making, and I never thought about that until I was in student teaching and I saw another teacher do it, but it's really been fantastic, and we're learning to hug our mistakes. Have you heard of that? It's super cute. Okay, we're nearing the end. This little area was actually inspired by my mentor teacher. She did have like a calm down chair she used for her kids. So I have some plants over here, a book that's Be Kind. We read that at the beginning of the year. And basically this is the area where my kids can go and just calm down. And, we still have breakdowns. They're 6-year-olds, they're 7-year-olds. Sometimes they just need a space to go and deal with their emotions. And this is that space for us. We don't really have, we don't call it like a zen zone or a calm down corner or anything. I just go tell them to take a break and they know to come here. And another thing that's probably catching your eye is our worry plaque. This is from the Irish Fairy Door Company. It's actually from Ireland, and it says, "A fairy's magic changes red to green. Garner your worries, never to be seen." Isn't that amazing? Oh my gosh, I love it. So yeah, sometimes, the kids will just come over here and hug the pillow, and sometimes they'll cry into it. It's just whatever they need is there. So I'm really glad that I have this space in my room for them because it really has saved my life. And here are my other plants. I have Miso, Venus flytrap, a cactus, a letterboard with a cute quote, and then a pothos plant that's on the very right. And then I have these color posters that I made. They're in my TPT for free, English and Spanish, and then Be Kind always. And that is my very first ever classroom. I do want to say a quick thank you again. So many people reached out and donated to our classroom. I wouldn't have half the things I have if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you so much for supporting me in that way and here on YouTube. I really, really appreciate it. If you aren't subscribed, I hope you really consider clicking that red subscribe button. Make sure you like this video so other teachers can see it. I really do love my classroom, and I hope it's obvious that I love the kids that are in it even more. But this space I wanted to be somewhere that was safe, that was calming, that was just a place where all of us wanted to be, and I think that I did that. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have questions, go ahead and comment down below. I'll get back to you, or you can reach out to me on Instagram at Miss Calls Campers. I do post weekly updates that you're not going to see here on YouTube as well, so it's worth checking out, and thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I love you.